Hi guys, it's Kath. Today I'm going to show you how I made this 1 to 12 scale miniature kitchen silverware. This set includes a fork, a spoon, and a knife. They're super tiny and finished in this beautiful chrome. I'll also show you how I made a clear version and even a version that you can make without a 3D printer. Let's get started. The first thing I do is look up a black and white image of utensils. You want a top-down view of this image. Once you find one that you like, you can save it. Then I need to convert this JPEG into a SVG file. I'll be using this website to do that. Once I have the SVG file, I just import it into Tinkercad. Once it's imported, you'll see a flat version of the image. This gives us a really good foundation to make our silverware. The first thing I do is increase the height. Then I just cut away the excess material using various invisible shapes. For the spoon, I take a sphere and use that to cut into the solid piece. There is no formula for this, it's kind of like carving freehand, but with software. There are much better programs for this process, but Tinkercad is free and super beginner friendly. I also use a rectangle for the handle area. To cut off the rounded area at the bottom, I duplicate the spoon and then cut off the handle. Stretch it out so it's a bit bigger. Then place it underneath the spoon. Lower that just a bit and use it to cut away the bottom. Keep working on this until you get a shape that you like. For the fork, I take a cylinder, turn it invisible, and then turn it on its side. Stretch it out so it's oblong, and I use that to cut away at the front of the fork. It honestly took a long time to get to this final result. Just be patient and continue to carve away until the shapes look the way you want. When you're finally happy with how it's turning out, you can print it. The best way to print these tiny utensils is to rotate them 45 degrees and add some supports. Supports are just bars that go underneath your model to help your printer print them out without any problems. This is how much support I ended up needing underneath my set. And this is how it looks out of the printer after some washing and curing. Here is a version I made with regular gray resin, and here is a version I printed with clear resin. The supports are really a necessary evil. They allow the model to print perfectly, but they are kind of a pain to remove. I use my clippers to carefully snip off all the supports. This is absolutely the step that you want to take your time with, as these utensils are very thin and easy to break. So it's crucial not to rush this unforgiving step. Do the same for the clear model. To make this clear version actually clear instead of foggy white, I'll be using a clear gel top coat. Simply brush it on both sides of the model and cure it under a UV light. The varnish brings the clarity back out of this resin. You can also choose to use a spray varnish if you don't have access to a gel top coat. For the chrome version, I first do the same gel top coat step. This gives the print a really smooth, flawless finish. That will be essential for the chrome to look realistic. As you see in my previous videos, this chrome powder is my secret weapon. You simply rub it on top of gloss polish to give it a really shiny silver coat. The more you buff it in, the better it will look. You can add an additional clear coat on top of this chrome powder, but I just chose it to leave it as is to not give the utensils any more bulk. And that's it. That's the super easy 3D printed version. For a version you can make without a printer, I simply take the same image from the beginning of this video. I copy it into a Word document and shrink it down so it's 3/4 of an inch in height. Print it out on regular printer paper. Then I glue it to an index card to give it some structure. Cut those shapes out. I use a combination of scissors and an X-Acto knife to get a really precise cut. For the spoon, I use a ball clay tool to push on the paper to round out that spoon. Use some pressure to get the paper to form around the tool. Once you're satisfied with the shape, paint on some clear gel polish. This will harden the paper, help keep its shape, and give it a smooth finish. Then just like before, buff on the chrome powder. It's super easy. The most important aspect of this technique is to be really patient when you're cutting out the image and then molding it into a realistic shape. Take your time to create the most realistic effect. I hope you guys liked this video and learned something new. As a reminder, you can always get my 3D models on my Etsy shop linked below. It's a super convenient way to get these models without having to create them yourself. I have a lot of exciting projects in the works, so I'll see you soon. Bye!